for those of you who are just tuning in and may not know, but Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, resigned this afternoon from his post. And I think that there are many reasons why he did. Apparently, there was a lot of people who were not happy about him going to Mar-a-Lago and meeting with Trump.
You think that's why he resigned?
I think there's probably more to it than that.
Oh, I'm sitting here in my mind and thinking, I wonder if he ever attended a Diddy party. That's what I'm sitting here thinking. Like nowadays, when anybody steps down and resigns from anything, the first thing that comes to mind is maybe they were at a Diddy party.
Wendy, I just have to say your profile picture is awesome. So
I don't see what it says. I just see that it's JFK.
Our government kills.
Oh, yes, it does.
And yes, oh, Canada. And so what are they doing now? Well, it's kind of a reflection of what ends up happening with neoliberal politics.
Okay.
Canada is a prime example under Trudeau that has gone in a horrifically bad direction, especially as it comes to civil liberties. We all remember what happened when they basically took away the pensions and the livelihoods of the truckers who did not want to take the vaccine. I had no problem with it whatsoever. If they didn't want to take it, that's their business. This idea that you have to take it because they were coming into the United States, that was a level of insanity where they froze their bank accounts. Yeah. That's neoliberalism on steroids of the worst kind.
Well, that's authoritarian. I mean, that's completely like authoritarian. But yeah, because they feel the need to control what everybody does because their friends can find a way to profit from it.
Trudeau is somebody who is just reflective in this sort of dying ideology. This idea that you can pretend to be socially liberal of the worst kind and then fiscally conservative of the worst kind. And that's neoliberalism. And in many ways, that's what's hurt Canada for so long.
He's white Canadian Obama. He's always been that to me.
Well, that's how I guess he always saw himself. But I don't think there's a lot of people who truly understand just how powerful the Trudeau family is and how
it's like a dynasty.
How dynastic the family really is.
Yeah.
And so that's how a lot of these guys get elected. Although I will say, as much as you say he's the Obama equivalent, I don't know. I see him as I saw Trudeau as much like Newsom. I think that they had
same difference. What difference is that? How about Newsom is the same difference? Neoliberal milquetoast crap.
Colin, if you have the clip from Trudeau earlier today, just making his announcement, if you want to grab that. I can't. If
nobody ever suggested that neoliberalism was limited to North America. Neoliberalism is a global problem. It's a global economic philosophy that was definitely facilitated and pushed in this country very heavily by, certain people, and going back to like Reagan, even going back to Nixon.
I have to say that
privatizing and profiting off of different service industries is,
there is no question. I do think that they jumped the shark when they pulled that stunt with the Canadian truckers, where they froze their assets. That was, that's like Stalinism. Like that's
what I'm saying. That's authoritarian, and it's very scary.
It is.
But that's what, and the problem is that the people that are neoliberals try to project themselves like they are so liberal, but when it comes to protecting their capital.
Yeah, and it's 1,000% about protecting capital.
Of course.
That's why you see on the state side so much reverence for Liz Cheney. And we're gonna get to the grand finale in a few minutes, and I think you guys know what it is.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to talk about some of those presidential awards that were given out, aren't we?
Oh, come on, man! But here's what the former Prime Minister of Canada had to say today.
Last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader as Prime Minister after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process. Last night, I asked the President of the Liberal Party to begin that process. This country deserves a real choice in the next election, and it has become clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best option in that election.
Okay, I need to find out what Gone Fishing is talking about. We need to talk about what Gone Fishing said, but then also Philip made a comment about Jane Goodall not clapping, and I'm assuming that he means she didn't clap for Hillary.
Probably.
Who was the most, I mean, there were some nefarious people that got medals.
Colin, if you have obviously the image of Hillary and Biden, as well as Hillary and her standing ovation.
Wait, before we move on, though, what did you want to talk about Justin Trudeau's? I mean, I had seen the clip of him resigning, but I have no idea what the backstory is. But there's a backstory. There's always a backstory. This isn't anything. And honestly, to me, just as somebody, and I am not like saying I'm like an expert on like body language or reading people, this seems like sort of against his will to me.
I think that there's a lot of internal problems going on in Canada. I think that it could potentially stem from some of the economic policies that Trump is going to enact as soon as he gets in. I think Trump may even have an axe to grind with Trudeau. And it may just be that it's a fight that he just doesn't want to deal with. There's also a lot of, like I said, potential skeletons in his closet. And if
that brings up, I'm telling you, ain't no party like a Diddy party.
I definitely agree with David. He looked very uncomfortable in that presser.
He's being forced out by something. Now, whatever their party politics are, I don't know. I really do not know enough about Canadian politics, but he definitely looked like somebody that had something to hide and was like on the run. Like he looked like something.